Idina Menzel,
Uh-huh.
responsible for an interracial aspect. She was married to Taye Diggs.
Yeah.
And she said the relationship,
good
in
actor.
fact, she said, yeah,
Good actor.
it seemed like there was disappointment in the community with him. That Taye Diggs, a black man,
Right.
was married to I think she used the word a white Jewish woman. That's what he said. Okay. He said on the Van Lathan show,
Right.
Van, my guy, see him working out all the time. He said the backlash he received from marrying a white woman and the resentment later built up inside. We left the other part out, but she's Jewish.
Right.
And so for me, what is your takeaway? I'm gonna get into mine. What is your takeaway? She said he was on the cover of Essence, Ebony, being interviewed by all these black journalists, and he had his own stuff to deal with that. It was less about being successful and more about that kind of stuff. So what's your takeaway on that?
I say, listen, my takeaway, love is love. Love is love. I'm gonna just start there. Love is love. It's about finding someone that makes you happy. Now, if you are stuck on race and focus on finding someone of your ethnicity that makes you happy, then so be it. If you are maybe one that wants to venture out and enjoy other ethnicities and other races and trying to submerge yourself in their culture and understanding their culture and finding love in that way, so be it. When I buy a bag of Skittles, I'm speaking for me personally. When I buy a bag of Skittles, I don't pick and choose which ones I want to eat because I enjoy them all. I
pour them in my hand and throw them in my mouth.
Quick, I enjoy them all. I enjoy them all. Everyone has a preference. Everyone should be allowed to have a preference on who they date and who makes them happy. I think limiting ourselves to stay within a race is, it's a little tough, and it's a tricky combo. It depends on the person. It depends on who you are. It depends on your background, and some people have parents. You can't bring someone of the opposite race in your home. It just, at this point where we are at this juncture in life in 2023, the fact that we are still stuck on this is beyond me.
Let me ask you a question, Ocho. They were married for 11 years. So if they're married for 11 years, they probably dated for at least 2 years. So at what point in time in that 13-year relationship did he realize that she was white? Did he wake up one morning like, God,
I don't know. Woman. Do you think the pressure and the backlash because he was in an interracial marriage, do you think it affected him? Do you think it got to him? Did it affect his job where he wasn't able to do like something you said, being able to compartmentalize? You think he wasn't able to separate the two?
I think he allowed the community to make decisions for him. He listened to the community, said, you this prominent guy, because what they do is says that white person that lady wouldn't talk to you if you weren't who you were.
Whoa. Did you hear what you just said?
Yes. I'm saying the community would say that white woman wouldn't talk to you if you weren't who you were.
Well, neither would the community.
That's how they look at it.
Neither would the women in the community.
I get that. Okay, thank you. But my thing is, Ocho, why do I have to live my life? You do realize that when Dr. King and Rosa Parks, they were fighting for more than your voting rights, more than your fair housing, more than your unemployment rights. It was the right to be able to choose a choice. Right. Just like abortion, that should be between the woman and her doctor.
Right.
Okay, fine. Whatever. That's a woman. Okay, shouldn't who I date, who I marry, shouldn't that be between me and my spouse?
Right.
Without outside external forces from either community?
Right.
Y'all don't have to live with them. Y'all don't have to feed us. Y'all don't have to take care of anything. Why is it that's what I don't understand. When I saw the criticism that Bronny was getting for taking a white young lady to the prom, and I see some of these other guys, why does it upset you so much? If it doesn't cost you anything, if it doesn't take any money out of your pocket, if it doesn't put any money on your table, why are you upset at somebody? Because even though he's dating somebody outside the community, what makes you think if he was dating somebody in the community, it would be you?
I don't know. It's a tough topic. It's very, very it can go one of two ways. It can go south or it can go north. There's no in between. Listen, I'm not Dr. Umar, so it's hard for me to really dissect and dive deep into the topic. But all I can see is and say is based on me and preference is I love everybody. I love all walks of life,
Yes.
regardless of where you come from, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your background. I'm able to enjoy all circles. I can put myself in any environment and adapt to it. And for that, I think,
It's
really,
but it's
committing
us. It's
yourself.
us,
Yeah,
Ocho. Come on, it's
I
us.
know. But just having to say, you know what, stick to this and just block off everything else in life. I don't know why they do it. They happy with athletes. With athletes, basically when it comes to athletes, they say, well, once you get money, we always venture off and go date elsewhere.
Outside of our race.
Outside of our race. Once you get a little money, you start dating women that you actually wouldn't have access to and, access to get. Well, that's in general in life and anything that you do,
Yes.
you never want to stay the same. I mean, that's just,
Right.
you go for what you like, and that's just the nature of the beast, the way it's always been.
Right.
But listen, it's all about preference. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? That's it.
I'm all about that.
You can't live for nobody else. You just can't.
I know the famous case was Loving versus Virginia, about a black interracial couple that was married, and before it was against the law to cohabitate. A black and a white couldn't cohabitate together. They threw your ass in jail.
Well, what year was this?
Yes, this was they got married in '58. They were arrested.
Okay.
Got put in jail, but before it was illegal.
Damn.
Black and a white couldn't cohabitate in that capacity.
Right.
It was illegal. They won the case in 1967. It was a movie made about it. Mildred and Richard Loving. But I just don't get that. I mean, because I've had people on both sides of the aisle treat me good. I mean, for the most part, I look at the internet when people talking crazy. It ain't the opposite race talking crazy to me. It's my race.
Yeah.
It's my community.
Yeah.
It's my community.
Right. So I'm so glad we're on this topic. So now that we on this topic, you have no problem with dating outside of your race, right? Still,
I've dated outside of my race.
Right.
Not a whole. It's not. I haven't dated a rainbow. It's not like I'm Asian or Hispanic, things like that. Okay. But it's normally white and black.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. Does the outside noise bother you? Does that deter you from dealing with them? Mm-hmm. No, you don't.
They don't pay no bills. Ain't nobody. It doesn't really matter. My grandmother never had a problem with it. And when I dated, my grandmother's like she would actually talk to them on the phone. If my grandmother didn't have a problem, now if it probably would have been an issue. If my grandmother would have felt some type of way, I don't think I could have gone. I don't think I could have gone against her wishes because that's how much influence that she had on me.
Right.
But because she embraced it, and I mean, when I was growing up working on the farm and when we needed money, my grandmother would go to Joe Tatum, the guy that we worked for, and says, Joe, can I borrow $30? These boys need to go this, or these boys need to get that. They'll pay it back when they start working for you in the summer.
Right.
He could have said no.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at it, Miss Keels treated me like she was my remedial reading teacher in high school and my Spanish teacher. Mm-hmm. And that woman, the way she, like I was her own child. Right. She had no effing idea I was going to grow up to be what I became. Right. But it didn't matter to her. She saw a young black kid that was struggling because he was bull jiving around, and she pulled me to the side. And you know what she told me, Ocho? Mm-hmm. She said, Shannon, your brother is Sterling. That's not you. Don't you want your own?
Right.
I taught him. He was great in school. Yes, he was great on the football field, and you're great on the football field. You're great in basketball. You're great in track. But you effing around in here. So when I was Spanish class, where everybody else could call their classmates and talk, I had to call her and talk Spanish.
I could teach you. Look, you know how good is your Spanish now?
It ain't good, bro. That was in 1987. So how long ago that's been?
Oh, okay.
That's
a little minute. That's a little minute. All right.
So
you good.
I did just enough because back then you had to have the classes that would to go towards graduation. You had to have those.
Yeah.
So I just took that to get that up out there. I said, Miss Kills, I got to get up out of here. Hey, I gotta be, but I gotta
Right.
fight it there. So for
Yeah.
me, Ocho, I don't have no problem when I see a someone from Hollywood that's dating outside of their race.
Right.
I'm like, oh, you wait, you get to Hollywood to get you somebody like that. That man wouldn't even look at you if you would. I
Right.
don't do that.
Right.
If I see somebody walking down the street, hey, that's you couple.
Right.
Oh man, they look so happy.
No.
That's how I look at it because it ain't taking. It doesn't rob me of anything.
Right.
It doesn't rob me of energy. It doesn't rob me of money. It doesn't rob me of time. It takes nothing from me. So I don't get why so many people get so upset if it doesn't take anything from you.
Yeah. It's been that way for a very long time, and that something like that will never change. It will never change. And just, I mean, I always say the same thing, man. Date who makes you happy. And again, like me, I love everybody. It's always been a moniker of mine. It's something that I've always tweeted and always preached for the longest. And it's the fact that we're still on that, especially at this day and age. It is what it is. And I think just our people, our race, really wants us with us. And maybe maybe other races feel the same way, but they're not as.
Don't you want us happy?
Yeah.
Don't you want us happy?
Yeah.
Don't you want to be happy? Yeah. And I'm not saying you can't be happy with your own race.
Right.
But if I'm happy, if I find somebody and I'm happy with them, don't you want me to be at the end of the day?
Yeah.
If that person isn't mistreating me, if that person isn't harming me, don't you want my happiness above all else?
Right.
I want people to be happy.
Right.
That above all else, Ocho, forget all of that. I want you to be happy.
Yeah, you're right. Baby,
huh?
you happy?
Very.
Okay, yeah. I'm just making sure.